All right, geometry crew. Today we are learning section 10.5, which is trigonometry in area. And we're basically doing the same thing that we did back in section 10.3, I think it was, where we were finding the area of regular polygons. But now they're giving us only one piece of information for every single polygon. So what we need to do is use trigonometry. Remember, SOHCAHTOA, all right? So I'm going to write SOHCAHTOA at the top of my page just so I know what trig function I'm using, okay? And I'm going to do problems 1, 2, and 3 from page 646, all right, just to give you a couple ideas on how to do this. So number 1, we're given a hexagon, okay? And actually, I want to draw this a little bit bigger. Okay? And they tell us that this length right here, all right, is 4 meters. And that's all they give us, all right? But remember, we always, with these problems, we always focus on this little triangle inside of your polygon, okay? And the first thing that we have to do is figure out this central angle right here, all right? We need to figure out the central angle. In order to figure out the central angle, we take 360, all right, divided by the number of sides. In this case, we have 6 sides, all right? So I know that my central angle right here is 60 degrees. So the distance from here to here is 60. Now remember, we need that opposite. And the opposite is drawn straight down, all right, from your center to the side. And look at what that opposite's doing. It's cutting that central angle in half. So now I know that this angle here, so the distance from here to here is only going to be 30 degrees. And the angle over here is 60. Obviously, that's 90, okay? What we need to figure out is what is this length right here and what is this length right here, because we need the perimeter, okay? Once again, with SOHCAHTOA, we need to place our praying mantis on one of these two angles, the 30 or the 60. Well, I'm going to call this what we need to solve from here to here x, and I'm going to call the opposite y. All right, let's solve for x first, okay? And if they told us that this distance is 4 meters over here, I know that this has to be 4 meters over here, okay? So I'm going to put the praying mantis down on the 30. So I'm focusing on the 30 degrees, and this side length then would be my opposite side, and this would be my hypotenuse. So I come up here, opposite and hypotenuse uses the sine. So the sine of 30 degrees, that's where I put my praying mantis, is equal to x over 4, okay? I'm going to multiply 4 on both sides. Those cancel. So I have 4 sine of 30 degrees is equal to x. Now remember, with your calculator, you have to make sure that you are in the correct mode. So I'm going to push mode, and look it, I am. Degree is what I want, all right? And I'm going to quit out of that, and I'm going to just type this in as I see it. 4 times the sine of 30 degrees, that equals 2, all right? Everybody can see that? So x is equal to 2. So if x is equal to 2, all right, that's the distance from here to here. I know that this entire distance must be 4. All right? And if we need to figure out the perimeter, remember, the perimeter is equal to 4 times the number of sides, which is 6. So my perimeter is 24. Okay? I'm halfway there. I still have to figure out the y. Okay? So, once again, I'm just going to put my praying mantis at the 30 degrees again. This time, this length, this side, the y, is my adjacent, and hypotenuse is the 4. So, adjacent and hypotenuse is cosine. So, the cosine of 30 degrees, because that's where my praying mantis is equal to y over 4. Once again, I multiply 4 on both sides. Okay? So I have 4 cosine of 30. I go to my trusty calculator. 4 cosine of 30 degrees. I have 3.46. We're just going to call that 3.5. All right? So y is equal to 3.5. And 3.5, that would be my opposite. All right? So my opposite is equal to 3.5. I have now every piece of information that I need to solve this problem. Remember, the area of a regular polygon is equal to 1/2 AP. So 1/2 times 3.5, which is my opposite, and then my perimeter, 24. All right, so I'm going to go to my trusty calculator. All right, and I'm going to say 3.5 times 24 divided by 2. My answer is 42. So the area is 42 meters squared. That would be my final answer. So you can see that you kind of have to do a little bit of work there. All right? That's what makes these, it's not any more difficult because we know trigonometry and we know how to find the area of a regular polygon is 1/2 AP. All right? So you just got to do a little bit more work right here. Now let's do this other one, number 2. All right? And I'm going to write SOHCAHTOA again. So number 2. This is going to be tricky to draw just because, let me see, it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is a decagon, all right? It's a decagon. So if I try to draw this, there's no way I'm going to be able to do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so I'm going to put the vertices just so you can see, like, here's all my sides. It doesn't matter what it looks like, okay? Because remember, I'm always focusing on that triangle right there, okay? And the piece of information that they give me is that the distance from here to here is 6 centimeters, okay? Once again, I need to construct my opposite in there. And just like we did with the problem up top, I need to solve for my central angle. So it's 360 divided by 10 sides, all right? It's always divided by the number of sides. So this is equal to 36. Now remember, that's the central angle, which runs from here to here. But the opposite cuts it in half, right? So 36 divided by 2, that means this angle right there is 18, and that's 90 degrees, all right? And so this angle down here has to be 72. So I got 72, 18, 90, all right? Once again, it's nice that they gave us this side length because I know that the perimeter, P, is going to be 6 times 10, or 60. So all I got to do is solve for the opposite, which we'll call A. All right? So remember, the distance from here to here is 6, so the distance from there to there must be 3. So I'm going to set my praying mantis down right here on the 18. My opposite side is 3. My adjacent side is A. So opposite and adjacent uses tangent. So the tangent of 18 is opposite over adjacent. So 3 over A. Now remember the trick. When the variable's in the denominator, you can just switch spots. So A is equal to 3 divided by tangent of 18. And I'm going to go to my trusty calculator, and I'm just going to type it in just as I see it. 3 divided by the tangent of 18. I get 9.2. So I know that my opposite is equal to 9.2. So I have my A, I have my perimeter. Area is equal to 1/2 AP. So 1/2, my A is 9.2, my perimeter is 60. Go to my trusty calculator, 9.2 times 60, and then divide that by 2, I get 276. So the area is equal to 276 centimeters squared. Okay? So there's a couple problems using trig. And then the last problem, number 3, is actually really easy. Okay? Number 3, they give us a triangle. And if you have any triangle where they give you side angle side, so they say this is 6 inches, this is 9 inches, all right, and then this was 56 degrees. You can see this is side angle side, side angle side. The formula in your book, so make sure you read, all right, the formula is on page 645. It says we can solve for the area of this triangle. If you're given SAS, all right, you can solve for this area, all right. It's equal to 1/2 the side length, 6, times the other side length, 9, times the sine of that included angle. So I can go to my calculator and I can just type this in. All right? So 6 times 9 is equal to 54, times the sine of 56 is 44.768 whatever, and then divide that by 2. All right, so my answer is 22.4. inches squared. So those problems are pretty easy, all right? And there's some of those on your homework. All right, make sure you do the homework for this. You will have a quiz on it the next day, all right? But these problems aren't any more difficult than what you've already had, all right? You just got to bring trigonometry into it in order to solve for either your opposite or your perimeter, all right? So make sure that you do these problems. You do these homework problems. It'll help you out, okay? And then these problems, like number 3, are very simple. Hopefully everybody's staying healthy and safe. I miss you guys, and hopefully I get to see you soon.